Well, hello, guys. Um, man, I got tongue tied right at the
Welcome to yet another great episode of The Sofa Pillow
pillow
Talk.
talk,
I'm Miz, and he is.
Mister.
And tonight we have some wonderful guests on, and we're excited.
Like, what is the best time to have a conversation? Is at night, getting ready to lay down, and pillows. What'd
Oh,
you say
yeah, we got
about?
lots of those.
Uh,
Oh, nobody gossips more than a husband and wife getting ready to go to bed.
so hence the reason for our title of the podcast, the sofa pillow talk. So for you guys that are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and punch the heck out that like, thumbs up, thingamajig. And if you're on Facebook, we love to have you. And we are going to see you guys in after this lovely intro. Okay, so this is our lovely couple, Mark and Nicole. Guys, if you don't mind, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey, we're Mark and Nicole Peay, and we're here in the lovely city of Atlanta, Georgia, in the ATL, and excited to have my beautiful partner in crime here with me tonight to share some pillow talk.
Hey. So that's our thing.
I'm
Why,
glad you guys said your name because I was going to say he. I wasn't thinking hey.
hey, you,
No.
and I
Yeah,
didn't tell you. I'm sorry. Oops.
No, it's fine.
I'm setting her up to fail. I'm so
Oh,
sorry,
no.
sweetheart.
That's what I was going to wait.
You're just gonna wait for them to tell say it first.
right. That's smart.
But my wife always says there's no what's your favorite thing? You just said it about the couples gossiping.
Oh, no one gossips more than a couple getting a married couple getting ready to go to bed.
Do your guys gospel at night?
Gossip.
Uh,
Gotta. He said, "Huh?" Like,
I mean,
no.
if I'm serving tea, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's definitely him. I have to make sure I get my cup ready and have it,
Oh, so you trying to
prepared.
say I'm the tea person?
Oh, you do spill the tea.
Okay, my bad.
yeah.
hey,
Yeah, you are definitely the old girl. Guess who I saw today? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay though.
You so you guys were very interesting to me when I came across a couple of your posts
Mhm.
on Instagram, and that's what made me reach out to you guys. And that's one thing that we talk about is definitely in the Black community is finding couples that are promoting not only Black love but just genuine union. And we come from the era where you really I don't know about you guys, and we can kind of get into that as well when we start answering the questions. But I didn't come from a background of seeing a black mother and a black dad have a wonderful union. Um, my wife, not to speak up for her, was a little bit different, you know. So I love seeing that now more on TikTok than anything because I think TikTok got swarmed with the little pranks so bad, they were just horrible pranks.
Oh,
And
couple
so
pranks.
yeah, the couple pranks, but I think everything, everybody's doing like the little challenges and stuff. Those are cool, but I think everything is a little different and everybody's showing a little bit more love, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But people still show love in different ways. Some people are okay with pranking each other, but not my thing. So, as a couple, first would be, how did you guys meet?
You go. You tell it.
so I'll tell the honest story.
Okay.
That's the thing. um,
Thank you. We have to do that.
we met online. So we both were on Facebook dating, and that's how we initially started communicating. So yeah, that's how we met. We actually met online. We're communicating first through the messaging system through that dating app, and then after a couple weeks, right? I think it was a couple weeks of conversation, and he finally asked me to ask me out, like on a date to meet, because I think he wanted to like build a comfort level with each other first before
Right.
we went out. So yeah, it took a couple weeks, and then once we went out, we went to breakfast, and then I'll let you take it.
Yeah, after that, the rest was history. I knew then. I was like, yep, it's a wrap.
Okay.
This
So
is the
what
one.
initially attracted who first though? Since it was through an app, you never met each other in person. I didn't even know Facebook had a dating app. So who messaged who first?
Ooh,
Uh,
you know what?
I don't know.
I don't. I think on that particular one you can like or you can like save or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think we both were mutual likes of each other, and
Oh.
reached out first and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" and introduce myself. I think that
Yeah,
sounds
I
about
think
right.
so. I think so because like it's not like other dating apps where you can just go straight in messaging. Like you have to kind of build up to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was like just a quick, "Hey, how are you? My name is Mark" type of thing, and we started conversating from there.
So how long ago was that?
2.5
2.5
years.
years. Yeah.
2.5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't say because I've been on Facebook a long time and
I didn't know they
never knew
had.
they had a dating
I did
Yeah.
not know they.
For, it's been here for a while.
minute.
I
Yep.
didn't discover it. It just came across my you know how you're searching and the ad comes up
for you,
and
Right.
an ad came up. So I just clicked on it to see, and a girlfriend of mine was like, "You should try it." So I was like, "Okay, I'll try it," and I tried it.
Oh, hey, you got something out of it. So, how that's like cool.
So of course we knew they were naturally attracted to each other at
Yeah.
this point. Because he was like after the first date, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is it for me."
Yep.
So how long did it take you guys to decide that, oh, okay, I think I could spend forever with this person?
That's a Mark question.
So
Ah.
at the time we were living in Indianapolis, and I knew that the kind of person I was looking for had to have a certain type of capacity. And because of what I do as a profession, my bandwidth and my eye is very key to see. I can recognize. It doesn't take me long. It didn't take me long to realize that this person had the capacity to absorb who I was as not just a person, but as a businessman, as an artist, as a creative person, had the
Right.
capacity to absorb my son, and somebody that I wanted to go the extra mile to be with. And I knew that because of my schedule, I was prepared and willing to and wanted to go the extra mile. So I applied pressure, as she called it, to let her know that I was serious, that, I wanted to be with you. I wanted to spend time with you. And she was a bit surprised by the pressure because a lot of time guys don't really apply pressure nowadays. They just, especially here in Atlanta, was it one man for every so many women? So men feel like they don't have to put the work in. But I was like, no, I want to put the work in. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad it worked out.
Me too.
I feel like consistency is key
for
a relationship. It's important.
It's funny,
Oh my God, here we go.
No. It's funny how we get these lovely couples up here, and it's always one person in that coupling that saw, just like I saw you, and she played hard to get, man. I don't know.
No, I was coming out
God
of the
showed me her and said, "Do what you need to do, and that's gonna be your wife." And I told her, and she's like, "Oh, God didn't show me that." So
you got to show up and show me something for real.
Yeah, because
Be yourself. I'm
yeah,
just not gonna jump in and go with your word. Oh, okay. No, that wasn't gonna work. You got to have to prove thyself to me.
exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
So, babe, what does this question mean? Do you work? Do
Huh?
you
What?
mean 3?
We didn't get that one. It's still like a two-part question. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, did you guys when right before you got married, did you end up moving in together, or did you have separate, or?
Well, I had a whole plan set up. Let me just tell you.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's go.
Okay, my plan was very simple. I had a son going away to college. And
Okay.
my plan was I had already found my townhouse. Um,
Okay.
I had worked it out with my daughter's father that we were going to do a very good job in co-parenting and live in a distance where she could, ride the school bus to either one of our homes. Like we had worked it all out. And he was like, I think something had came up with the townhouse where I had to wait like a month or so.
Yeah.
And so, he was like, well, that's good because you might as well just go ahead and take your name off
take the name off the list. You're not going to need that. And it just so happened that, I knew because I was so sure of what I wanted. I started putting the wheels into motion and just so happened, I'm going to go a little forward. So once I knew that this was the one, I set it up so that we could go to Atlanta to visit.
Oh yeah,
because you had never been, right? Or
I hadn't been since
she was a kid, and I wanted to show her my city. And because I had been in the industry, I played with different artists, Kelly Price and Tyler Perry, and I had a lot of industry friends who were musicians and singers. So I set up a date night for us to go to this restaurant, and I had all of my friends come out, all of my old band members, all of my singers, and
he pulled out the punches.
I
said, you pulled out all the punches.
Yeah, she thought it was just.
I thought it was a restaurant full of people just eating at a restaurant. Right. I had no idea that them 200 people was there. Number one, to see him, and number two, to meet me.
Yep. And so I had my band, I played, and then at a certain part of the song, I proposed, and so she fell in love with Atlanta, and we knew this is where we wanted to be, and so we moved here and got married here, and it's been a blessing because Indianapolis was a great city, but it was the city that we met, but we knew we didn't want to, stay there as a home.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So,
and what time frame was this? It's like over a year.
Oh, that's all. Just gonna ask.
We met. So here's the thing. We actually met around early July. We started conversating around end of June, early July. Oh, right. Because my son was going away to school in August. So between August and by the time October came, I came back from Atlanta with a ring in October.
Oh, wow. That's like.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was like, whoa, this is a lot. And then between October and the following of July, so we just celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary, July 30th. This past
year. Like that.
So yeah, it was fairly quick, but at no point did I feel like this is just way too much. It was a lot, but I never felt any. You know how as women we kind of get that, I don't know if I should be doing this. I never got that. Mm-hmm. Like I never once had any reservation about it. So my spirit was very calm.
He over here giving me the look, y'all. Because I gave you a hard time, but I had to be sure that you were sure that this is what you wanted, and then I had to get me together too. So
yeah, I was good. I just had to make sure you was getting. I'm like Mark. I was already. I already knew. So
and he, honestly, before he even moved in with me, he had already bought engagement ring. I ain't know.
That's how you do it.
Already making payments on it.
Yeah, I had no idea, and I was just like, I'm thinking we just I clearly
that's nice though.
Into my townhouse. I thought really that's what it was about, but more than that, I was like, okay, my townhouse is not even that far because he was living. It's not that. It wasn't even that far. Maybe it was like 15 minutes.
It just wasn't close enough.
I like that's a better answer. I like that one.
Yeah. Like I said, he needs just more than that. A couple of minutes. He said, "I'm gonna wake up next to you." I already set up. Let's go. Right. Okay.
That's so.
Okay. So yeah, just like what type of work do you guys do? I know that you guys have a couple of your own businesses, but
Apparently, we in the presence of a celebrity, and we
oh
didn't know
yes,
it.
oh he off the chain, huh? He off the chain. But before you even get into it, I definitely have to say I saw the video you, Mark, and your son
Which
that you y'all did a couple of them already.
oh
Dang,
the which it's several on
at the
YouTube.
church
Oh
on
yeah,
YouTube.
little
I can't
when he was
remember the song because
when he
I
was a little
saw
baby.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when he was younger. Yeah, we did that song.
Yes.
That was in Los Angeles when we lived there.
Oh man, that was so sweet.
Bless you.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool, man. That was cool.
Oh, so
Thank you.
he's been watching all the goodies without me. So
You been thinking I'm making busy, you know what
I
I'm
know. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
saying?
We're gonna talk
I
about
just
that
do,
later
I just do a little
on.
research. You know, do a little research.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. So normally, the couples are working, but I don't know if you guys. So that's the question: do you
How do
guys
you
work?
guys make your schedule work with family life responsibilities?
Ooh.
You go ahead.
And because it sounds like you guys are kind of like us, we got kids from other relationships, and bringing the blended family together and making everything work can really be stressful at times. But you got people out here that make it look super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look is the key though.
That's the part.
Yeah.
Like that's the key word. I think for us is, and I think we're still trying to find that balance.
Yeah.
Because
Dang, you sound like us.
Yeah.
Mark is still in the industry. Let's be clear.
Mhm.
A lot of his work and writing and composing and scoring still comes from the industry. And then you've got the academic side, and then you've got the production side, and then I just finished a film. And that was unexpected. So we had to kind of figure out how we were going to balance it versus having a well-oiled machine, because you have to remember we're still technically newlyweds too. So
Yeah.
when we even though we have our regular, what they call, I guess, our regular 9 to 5s,
Mhm.
I think the industry stuff is starting to take more precedence than the 9 to 5s, which is to be expected, I guess, seasonally how it goes.
Mhm.
But we're learning. I can't say we have a balance. I can say that we're learning to create what a balance is going to look like for us.
Yeah.
And
not just for us as a couple, but for us as individuals, because just like love languages, if her love language is words of affirmation, I can't give her a love language based on mine if mine is physical touch. I can't be like thinking I'm loving her just because I'm giving her physical touch. Her love language is affirmation. So we have to find the balance. I have to find the balance that works for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that.
Like for her, and she has to find the balance of what it looks like for me. And those two things could be different.
Right.
It could be
and
like,
they change.
And they change based on season, based on age and things that we're going through, and businesses and stuff like that. So it's kind of
that's something that people don't understand, that you do have your root love language, but I don't think folks really get the grasp of that changes, especially like after experience.
right.
Yeah. So we don't. That's the answer. Pretty much is we create balance based on what's coming up. Like, I think for me, I'm more spontaneous. He's more structured when it comes to certain things. I kind of take things as they go because my life and what I do for a living already has so many details and structure to it. So anything outside of that, I tend to kind of go with the flow. Or by him being more creative, everything in his life has to have some type of time and structure and balance to it. So I'm learning I'm teaching him how to be more spontaneous. He's teaching me how to create more balance in the gaps where he needs the most. So I can say, figure it out.
Great. Yeah, we had to do that earlier this year. We both run businesses, so we had
still doing it.
Yeah, so we had to learn to put marriage first. We've only been married for a year officially. He gonna fight me.
We've been married 5 years. When I first saw
got
we was
in
married.
April of last year,
That's funny.
and we really just got right into it and went straight to business ideas, pushing each other back and forth, and we kind of put us as newlyweds to the side until our first year anniversary came up, and we were like, "Don, we really haven't done much. We haven't dated.
Yeah.
We haven't taken time to plan time for ourselves and really sit down and continue to, get to know each other." And so it was important for us to sit down and get that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with the kids, we still figuring all that out. We ain't got it perfect either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do y'all keep it up? And he's already mentioned about love language. What are some other main methods of communication that you use between the two of you, to kind of help keep that balance and new love fresh?
Mm.
I think listening helps us. And it's funny because even the Bible says, be careful how you hear. And, you think, okay, hearing is hearing, but a lot of times hearing is filters too. So we're
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
how to hear through the correct filter
That's true.
so that we
Okay.
can communicate what needs to be communicated. So when we're, love language is one thing, but learning how each other understands, learning how each other communicates, that's the thing that a lot of times you think when you get married, you're supposed to know everything. Oh, I know everything about this person, how they communicate. That's why I got married to him. No, it's a work in progress. It's a learning.
Right.
Indeed.
You
I
don't know.
love it.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback off that, and it's something that I tell everybody about her. The best thing for me, what makes this relationship exciting, is when I go to sleep, I wake up with the idea of um, starting over, loving a new person, because every day different things happen to each of us, so that changes us. And people think that, oh, you're supposed to stay the same, nothing changes. So when you come up with a different attitude about something, even if it's just as small as this, I don't like that type of box of cereal anymore that you just bought me. And I'm not being rude. I don't like that flavor. I thought you did. I don't anymore. So people
Taste
kind of
buds
take
change every 30 days, so it's okay. That's normal. For anybody at that time, oh, you just didn't change overnight. It's possible.
yeah, you can. That's what I'm saying. It's really depends on what happens. And so I
Mhm.
wake up every morning with this is a I'm not starting over per se,
Sure.
but I'm loving her all over again.
This is
And
a newer version of my partner that I'm gonna embrace today.
yes,
Mm.
That's real
That's
good.
good stuff. Yeah. That's good.
Okay. It says when do you feel the most protected and most taken care of by your partner? Now, y'all may
Mm.
not have gotten it quite yet, but
Oh
are
yeah.
there moments where you feel like you
I
guys have been like utterly protected and just in there?
I'm utterly protected all the time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No
You know,
worries. He got you. Okay, good.
And it
That's
goes
good.
back to the differences because protection looks different. So for me,
right,
Right.
um, because I am an artist, because people know me or know that I can play or produce, I tend to be very vulnerable when I go out in public, or I go somewhere. People tend to approach me for what they want or what they see me as or what they feel like they need from me. So what
yeah,
protection that she gives is my wife gives me protection of being able to have that discernment to know who's for me, who's not for me, who's there to use me, who's got my back and who's not good for me. That's the kind of
okay,
protection I need because a lot of times as an artist, you're focused on the assignment, you're focused on the music,
Yeah.
and you don't always see those things. And so she's that person that will have my back. And we've had a few of those situations where she had to say, I'm seeing something, and I had to just trust it. And then my protection was different because one of my gifts is being able to have that. What is that? I said it. Me and Marcus said we have that. We have the ability to protect and make sure that we have reflexes that make sure that she feels safe and her daughter, our daughter. And so
You'll
protective
be
instincts,
blocking stuff, dude.
that's what it was, protective instincts. So that was a little hard for her because she's from Chicago. She used to take care of herself, but my protective instincts kicks in, and so that's what my protection looks like. Did I say it? Is that pretty much right?
Yeah, so pretty much you're saying you be ready to karate chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, because I'm so I was so independent coming into this. I think my level of protection is knowing that whether because some people, let me back up a little bit. Some people's definition of protection is protect me only when I need it and how I want you to do it.
right.
But I'm learning that with my husband is that it's a 360 for him. So like it's funny because even tonight, like you were being protective. You were like, we were sitting here watching TV, and he looking out the window because Johnny, our daughter, was outside. He looking out the window. He opening and closing the blinds. He walking back and forth. Anybody that come past the house, he listens for the car. Why is the car so loud? So it's like I'm learning that for him, protection doesn't end when I don't need it. It's constant for him. Like it's a constant protection. The protection happens when I go to him and I say, hey, I was approached with this. How do I go about it? What do I do? That's his protection too. Like, so I'm learning how to be protected in a way that's physical, that's emotional, that's, that's spiritual, because for him, it never ends. It just comes in a different form every time he's doing it.
I knew you was gonna look over here at me. I
Because
knew you was gonna look up.
if I'm going out, he stay ready. You feel me? Like he may be laying down, but he ain't sleep. But then
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep until you get out.
He may be laying
And I'm not.
down, but he's not asleep.
Oh.
But then it looks different if I'm in the house and he's upstairs doing something and hears something. Clearly, even though I'm in the house, he's still in protective mode. So I'm learning how to be protected in a way that's comfortable for him, because at the end of the day, in his mind, that is one of his most important jobs. So I'm learning how to stand down and let him do his job the way he sees fit to do it, because it's not for me to do. It's just for me to understand.
That's good.
And sometimes we don't do it very well. And
What, the
as an
understand the part?
independent woman, I have definitely had to learn to allow someone to help me regulate the protection. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I put a wall up quick, and he'd be like, you put
Yeah.
a wall up at the wrong time, so let me come in here and let me help you.
Right. And then
Or
too,
even if I'm on the phone, he's like,
it's
you gonna
explanation.
let him talk to you like that?
Yeah, it's explanation too. So like for me, when we first met, even before we got married, before we moved here, the making sure you knew where I was. Like I had to learn. I was like, look, you're not finna pass on this. Like we're not doing that. Where I will be where I'm at. That was my mind.
Thank you.
I will be
Don't
where
ask
I'm
me what
at.
my location. Don't ask me to share my location.
Don't ask me to do that. But then, but then when he explained it to me, I'm not doing it because I'm trying to pull up. I'm not doing it for that. Anything could happen, and at least I know where you are, so that if I have to come to you, I know exactly where I need to be. And I don't have to worry about the rest. So then when I kind of like got out of my fifties and was like, okay, it's not because he's trying to be on locate, not trying to low-key stalk. He literally trying to protect me. So then I started sharing my location and stuff like that. Took me a minute though.
Took a little minute, but
And I like that. I really like that, because that, for me, again, that shows, because society gives us that a man should provide and protect. But the only definition that they really give on that stance is that I'm supposed to have muscles and I'm supposed to have a big bank. That's it. And a lot of men don't understand that method that you're going by, Mark. Because again, she'll tell you, I'm pretty much the same way. I can't go to sleep unless she's in the house. Even like she took girl trip. It
was the longest week of his life.
Yeah. I wasn't calling her or nothing like that, or bugging or watching her, but still, it was my mindset was, I'm getting on a plane real quick if I need to,
Yeah.
and I I think like you, Nicole, once you start realizing that, because I think we kind of got in a discussion about me um calling in, checking in and stuff. Now, I don't do that. And that's what her thing. I don't check in like that. Well, it ain't that I won't.
No,
Yeah.
no, you would call, he every time he goes somewhere, he
Hey,
would call me or text me and say, "Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here." And I'm like, "Hey, you don't have to do that.
Yeah,
If you
that's
where
how.
you at, you're where you at, and I trust you.
Right.
ain't had nothing to do
You
about that.
know when you're doing
No,
wrong,
I ain't had nothing to do with that.
so you
Anybody can
don't have
grab me and drag me
to tell
somewhere.
me that."
Right.
Somebody can grab me and drag me somewhere. Hey, I'm just saying. At least you know my last location.
Right. That's good. Yeah.
So slowly, I got to the point where I was just like, okay, that's just something that he's gonna do, regardless of whether I'm okay with it or not. And I feel better now knowing that he's okay. Given that too, he has a disability, so I just kind of take it as a grain of salt because anything can happen anywhere. He could
Yeah.
have a flare up. It could, you can be somewhere passed out, and at least I have an idea of the vicinity of where he's located at. So
And sometimes it works out for you all as the ladies because she was on set this past week with a film, and because I knew the location, I was able to send her flowers
Yeah, it was so
and
sweet.
Mm.
surprise her with flowers because I knew the
aw.
location. And had she been like,
See?
"Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
upset," then she wouldn't have got those flowers. I wouldn't know where to send them.
See?
It works out.
You see that?
Yeah, okay. Mm.
Right. In other words,
We'll let you
drop the
have
Addy. In other
that
words, drop the
Right.
Addy.
Ah.
one. Okay, we'll let y'all have that one.
So, and with that, how did your parents influence your all union, good or bad? Like,
Or the ideal
it,
of marriage.
yeah.
I'm the youngest of 10, and
Oh, wow.
I know. But here's the
Lord,
thing.
you're spoiled.
Yes, I ain't gonna lie. But when my parents had me, they were actually old enough to be my grandparents. Because
Oh,
due to math, I had sisters and brothers old enough to be my parents, and because I was so,
Wow.
it was so many of us. By the time I came along, my parents were old enough to be my grandparents. So I didn't have a whole lot of time with them, but some of the things I did learn from them, both good and bad, helped me to understand what to and what not to do. As a man, I saw things that helped me as a husband and as a father, and I saw some things that I need to not do and or tweak, and that has helped me. And then because I have sisters and brothers old enough to be my parents, I learned a few things from them too. But
Okay.
just being able to juggle what was right, what was wrong, and then also being able to learn from my wife, from her upbringing, some things that maybe can help me, even though I didn't have that same upbringing. I still can glean from it, and I think she has she had a strong influence with her dad. I'll let you know.
Yeah, so my father didn't get married until he was late in life, so he didn't even have his first serious relationship that I knew about until like his late 30s because he was, single guy in Chicago, very independent, owned, businesses and all of that kind of stuff. So he wasn't trying to get on lockdown with nobody soon. So he
Right.
raised me as a single dad with my grandmother and my great grandmother and my grandfather and my great grandfather. So I saw marriage from my grandmother until her husband passed, and then my father's marriage looked like a partnership, not a marriage, and I
Mm.
think that's because he waited so late. I didn't get a chance to really glean what it looked like for him because he didn't look his look of love didn't look like Mark. So that's why I didn't understand that. I knew I was taught that pressure would be applied when I was chosen, but I'd never seen my dad apply that type of pressure. So I didn't
Okay.
know what it looked like. I just knew what it's supposed to look like.
Mm.
So any pressure that I learned that got applied came from, you know, when I look back now, I can see that I saw who he was really in love with versus who he married.
Mm.
Mm.
For me, the vision was the marriage for me that it looked like a partnership at first, and then it turned into love at the end. So I had
Okay.
kind of like a more, Mark calls it more of like a liberal view of marriage, because everybody in my family was so independent, and then they got married. So it was like partners came together and they got married. They just happened to love each other.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That
yeah.
is very different. But unique. I like
Oh
that.
well, I guess you can kind of look at that as being I guess what that would open the door to ask, do you guys see each other as best friends?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do.
Because I mean, I needed to be with someone who I could be my authentic self with. Now,
Ah, there we go.
as a musician, as an artist, as a producer, as an educator, I've been told that people connect to me musically, or people connect to me artistically, because I'm so genuine or vulnerable. And
Mm.
that's what, and while I appreciate that, you can't be vulnerable, and you can't have all of that and be vulnerable and not be real with the person you're with. So
Right.
who best to be your real self with than your best friend? And
Right.
I'm lucky or blessed to be able to say that who I married is also my best friend, because we can talk about anything. I can be silly. I can talk
Yeah.
about what really irritates me and those type of things. And I feel like a lot of people, especially nowadays, they want to be together because they want to be a power couple, or they want to be together because
Right.
it looks good on paper, or they,
Mm.
they feel like, they want to be the next influencer couple. But to be able to say you got a best friend, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my best friend, and I think this, for me, in my eyes and my definition, this is that power couple definition, because I, like Mark just said, I can be my authentic self with her. This is the first person that I've been with that I've been able to be myself, flawed and all.
Mhm.
And there's no judgment, and that's vice versa. Um, I know she feels the same way on her end, that she can be just let go. And it's funny because
Until I put some eyelashes on, then he like,
yeah, I don't like
I like
eyelash.
it.
I don't like eyelash.
He don't like my eyelash person. He's like,
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think, I know for me, growing up as an only child for a long time versus being with a man that's young as a 10, you know, I I know a lot about myself coming into it. So having a best friend was the first thing on my list that you had to be.
Okay.
All I had
thank
growing
you.
up was a bunch of friends. They happened to be guys, because when you grew up in a neighborhood full of boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, them your
Yeah.
friends. So it's easy for you to make friends with a guy because you already know how it's gonna
Yeah.
go. But
Them my
with
boy.
with this it was different, because it was like with my friends I could be my friend, but in with Mark he could be my best friend, he can be my boyfriend, he could be my husband, then he's my goofy partner, and then we people watch together. So it's just like it's more. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just, oh, that's my best friend. I think it's
Right.
levels to that.
Mhm.
It is. It is. You said it just right. It is.
Definitely. Where are we? Number. Um, what traditions from both of your family backgrounds have you brought into your marriage that are positive influence or make things easier for you?
Did you bring any traditions in though?
Um,
Like, do y'all celebrate Christmas together? How do y'all
oh,
do
like those kind.
holidays? Or yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think it's kind of the same. Like,
Yeah,
I think because we leave like our traditions, we kind of combine them. Like,
yeah.
because for me, like the big thing is Thanksgiving. Like, no matter what, we need to do something for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
But like Christmas is kind of like one of them things where I think we've been through so much. It's like we create the tradition. It may be different every year.
Every year, yeah.
But for him, I
Okay.
have to say, for you, it's gotta be, you gotta have the decorations up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving, he like, look, what we doing? Where
Yeah.
the tree going? You know what I'm saying? Where we putting the lights at? Are we getting new lights? You
Yeah.
He
know?
already on 10. I'm like,
Yeah. Because, I mean, when I grew up, we put them up like right after. Let's see, right? Actually, it was before Thanksgiving, but because my dad's birthday was March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, we left the tree up. He left the tree up all the way to his birthday, and we had real live trees. So we were stepping needles and
Lord.
everything in January,
Oh
February,
God. I was gonna say
March.
the cleanup is messy on those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, but
That's, I think that's for him.
Yeah.
The light, the whatever we do in the house don't matter. As long as he got food and Christmas decorations, he cool.
and eggnog, yeah.
And eggnog, he gotta have.
Oh, eggnog. Oh, man.
That. So like I think,
Wow.
but for me, Christmas is not it's not about that. It could be whatever we make it, but
Right.
I think the spontaneity of it is it's creating condition for us to always have. We always got the house decorated.
And one tradition that I never really had, especially after the last 17 years, was birthday. For my birthday, she would ask, what you want for your birthday? What do you want? But because I was, I raised my son as a single dad since he was 5 weeks old. So when you're raising as a man, a child, you don't think about your own birthday. You're thinking about their birthday, what they need. And so I had 17, he's 17 now. I've had 17 years of that. Well, when we got together, maybe he was like 15 or 16. But she taught me how to celebrate, that it's important to celebrate my day, my birthday, celebrate Father's Day. I'll always be like, oh, it don't matter. Every place is going to be empty.
Yep, that sounds like me. Yeah.
Get it any restaurant you want. But she helped me realize, no, you need to be celebrated. You need to celebrate yourself. So
yeah. So
Oh,
he
man, that's sweet. I like that.
the last 2 Father's days we was turning up.
yeah.
As you should, yes.
That's
indeed.
cool. I like that.
You
You found you a good one, Mark, man. That's cool,
right.
man.
Well, they found each
Yeah,
other.
they found each other.
goodness in each
Yeah,
other.
that's cool.
All right. So, well, I think we've already spoke about transparency between couples. It is that they find it important to be transparent, be open, be best friends, be partners, be each other's protection, and make sure you guys are there for each other regardless of what situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like one of the biggest issues in relationships, though, transparency. Everybody's coming in with masks on now, and or a mask on, and that one person is not digging enough or scratching or asking the right questions to in the beginning of the relationship to get to that point of, hey.
I want to say some people have that trauma where they're not able to open up and be transparent with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like that. I think that's easy for us because we had already done so much work on ourselves before we met. Like I didn't come in with everybody comes in with something, but we didn't come in with the whole bag full of it. Like I ain't have a Christmas bag full of it. I'm not saying that my bag was empty, but I'm not saying that my bag was all the way full and over the brim either. So a lot of the issues that I think we could have had that we didn't have is because we actually did the work before we met. That's important. And I think that's what we saw in each other is that even though we're imperfect, I saw him doing work on himself on a regular basis. And I would think that he saw me working on myself on a regular basis. So it gave us the idea that even if we're not transparent about that, you do have 100% transparency. You just have to ask the question to get the answer.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel transparency is something you definitely have to work on a daily basis every time y'all, wake up and come together.
Yeah.
Do y'all have gender roles? Like who does the household chores or who's responsible for what?
That's a good question.
When you got kids,
he look like he might be in trouble.
Lies.
I never, like I said, we got kids, so certain things we meet out to them. But I never really had that hang up. Like, I have to do this, I have to do that. So I'll say this. As a musician, I'm a keyboardist. Play piano by profession and keyboard. So there are certain things I just don't do anyway. Like, I don't mow the lawn. I'll do nothing dealing with that because I don't want my fingers getting caught up. I'm trying to clean it and, lawnmower,
Okay.
my fingers up. Same thing with working on cars. I'll pay somebody to do it, but I'm not going to
Right.
do anything that's going to jeopardize my livelihood, my fingers. So we never
Okay.
have to worry about that. But I do take care of doing it. I'll make sure the lawn guy is here to do this or repairman,
Okay.
whatever, that type of thing. But I think we just like whatever needs to be done. We just find a way to get it done.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I'm a neat freak, so
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, it's got to be done to the point where I can eat off of it. If I can't eat off of it, it ain't done.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
That is very correct.
So I don't think it's a gender role. I think we just kind of look at who does what best, and then we try
There
to
you go.
assign different things based on that. Like, I'm not good at making sure I always forget about the lawn and stuff like that. Even though that's like one of my favorite things, I always forget. And we just try to figure out who's better at what, and whatever you're good at, that's what you can handle. And then when I need to bring me in, when I need to be brought in.
Same with me.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Same here. We don't do the gender role thing. Like, if it needs to be done, just go ahead and get it done. Now, I'm not finna open my own door because he's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I ain't taking out the trash because
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know why he don't want me
Yeah.
taking out the trash.
Yeah, I don't want her
It
touching.
ain't even. It ain't even that. I don't know. But you know what? Well, I can ask you this, Mark. Did you ever see that growing up, like the chivalry and type and closing the door and stuff,
Oh
and
my God.
opening the door?
Yeah. I mean, I taught my son that, and every time we're out, happened today. My son and I are out, and you know, it's just a natural thing to the point where people like will say, "Oh my gosh, people don't do that anymore." Same with opening the car.
Yes.
Same with when, and it's funny because we'll be out with other couples or out in an event, and she'll go to the restroom. When she gets up to go to the restroom or step out, I stand up, and when she comes back, if I'm sitting down, I'll stand up, and then she sits down, then I'll sit. And a lot of people looking like, "What are you doing?" We'll go up to the escalator, and we're going up the escalator. I stand behind her in case she falls, and we're going down the escalator. I stand in front of her in case she falls. She can land on me.
You were
But
just catching her, just protecting her all over. Look at her. Hey,
yeah,
I like that.
that stuff I
And
learned
I
from
get
parents.
Yeah. I think
okay. And like,
for me, like even when we got married, and Johnny and I would go somewhere, and the first thing that Johnny says now is, "Mom, we gotta open our own doors, child." I'd be like, "Ooh, girl, yeah, we gotta open these doors now."
When my
okay,
son tied up with them, they got to open their
They
own.
gotta open our own doors. So even when we were like out of town, or even when my family came and we were all together for the wedding, that's the first. I was like, "Oh my God, this opening doors! I'm so tired for having to do this."
you did not know. You did not know there was a struggle opening your own door until
Right.
he started.
I was so bothered by that. I was so
But before
You
me,
know, I can say that.
she just go running, opening the door. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I'd have to close the door and say, "Close the door, let me open it." So she got
Right.
it.
I got it now.
I was gonna say the first date I was shocked because I was like, why are you sitting on that side of the car? Because I'm not gonna drive his car. What is he doing?
Mm.
He was waiting for me to get to the car so he can open the door for me. And I was like, oh, okay. We got ready to get out of the restaurant, and he gave me this look, and I mean, he ran around to the other side and pushed the door, and I was like, oh, what did I do? Did I open it wrong? He was like, no.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. I was like, okay.
And it's what's so weird about it is I to this day I don't know where I get it from. It's that was some natural. I never saw my dad do that to my mom. Uh, I I could probably say I did see it I saw it on TV, but and I guess that influenced me enough, but it's just natural and I think it's the right thing to do. And I just do random people like that. And I like Mark said, you get people like, oh wow, she isn't dead. You know, dang. You need to tell your mama that she raised a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
And his mom even says, I don't know where you got that from because I ain't even teach you that.
Mm.
And he just does it. So
Yeah.
y'all are one of a kind. Look at y'all. So, tough question here. Maybe you might want to answer, maybe not. What is a lesson that you learned from a previous relationship that has helped you in your current relationship in making a positive bond?
Say it one more time.
All right. What's a lesson you've learned from a previous relationship that has helped you create a bond in the current relationship or marriage?
What is we learned in a previous relationship that's helping us create a bond in the current relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, I can give
I
an
don't know.
example.
For me, I don't know if it's creating a bond, but it creates a learning lesson that
Yeah.
creates the bond.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
A lesson that you learned that helps you create your bond now.
yeah, I think because I came out of something very abusive, and I had to take counseling to exit that relationship even a year before I exited. It was really important for me, and this is one thing I think that we're working on together. That is not his issue, is my issue. It's
Right.
not losing myself in my marriage. That is
Okay.
something that I tended to do that quite a bit in relationships, and because I've been married before, and I'm learning that I can be so focused on not losing myself that it may cause me to lose my relationship, because I'm focused on if I can't do this my way, then you're in the way of me doing something for me. And that means the way I was brought up, that means that's a cutoff for you. So I may not cut
Okay.
you off, but I have to detach myself a little bit in order to get this mission completed, because this is part of what I want to grow into for me. So I think what we're learning, what I'm learning how not to be is I can still be myself, but not sacrifice the love that I have for him to do it. That
Okay.
that's new for me, because I'm used to giving. I'd rather give all of that up and keep me than lose me and have all of this. So
Okay.
I think that's what I brought that lesson in, because that's really important to me, is that I don't lose myself. But the great thing about Mark is that he's never required that. Like, he's never required me to put so much in and give so much out that I don't have anything left for me. All he's ever asked me to do is give enough where you still can have it for yourself, but don't give so much out in reference to not losing yourself, or thinking you're gonna lose yourself where you literally lose everything else. It's a way to
Right.
create a balance to do both. So I think that's where
Yep.
our mind is coming from, is that he's actually teaching me that I don't want to take you from you, but I need you too. So you got to figure out how you're going to give what I need, so I can give you what you need, so that you can continue to do what it is that makes you you.
I
Yeah,
like Mark. Mark, see,
that's good.
Mark definitely need to be a teacher. Open up your school, Mark.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that. And
I'll be one of your teachers. You need me.
okay, that sounds good. And one of the things I learned from Nicole, I've been able to benefit from the lack of some of these things in previous relationship, was Nicole is really good with money management, understanding of budgeting and things like that. So her mind for those things are something that I can glean from that I didn't have before. She's thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead on how to get something done so that we can look differently 5 years from now than we do now. That wasn't my experience in the past. It was like, make this money, do what we got to do, and keep making the money, but not really being wise enough to know how to handle it and how to make it, and to know that every dollar ain't a good dollar type stuff. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I did learn. It was a takeaway from what wasn't happening before that's happening now. that I can say that I can appreciate.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Like some mirror images over here,
A
man.
little bit, yeah. A little bit. What are your thoughts on sex life in a marriage?
It can be tough. I think the thing about marriage is that I think we have the same mentality. We never want to lose each other. Like we always desire each other, but we just be so damn tired, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
And I think it's just because in a day, I think if we ever just compile the day and you get what, I don't know how many hours, you get 24 hours in a day and 12 of those you're actively doing something. Like, I think the intimacy you have to, sex is an action, but the intimacy is the connection. So
Right.
I think for us, our focus is creating the intimacy because sex is like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
You know, because when we're 80, I might not remember his name.
Right.
So it's not going to be something that is going to carry us into the next decade. But the intimacy and the connection, if we have that, I don't have to fear if something happens to him or something happens to me and there's no sex.
Right.
So I think for me, sex is great, but I want the intimacy too. Like that that connection has to come in different ways. So I don't feel bad or good about it. It's a must. It's definitely a must. But if you don't have intimacy to go along with it, you might as well just not even do it.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
I'm not
That's
answering
exactly,
him.
No, that's exactly right.
He said you got it. So
No, because that's almost like that thing that I don't understand, which I know is possible because people make sure to express that it's possible, having emotionless sex. I think intimacy is that emotion that you should have in order for sex to be great. Yes, some emotionless sex can be great in some forms, but having that intimacy is like way and beyond for me. And I think with her and me, that my intimate moment is just being able to talk. You know, the conversations, that we have, even prior to this is the first person I was able to just sit and talk about sex with. My previous relationship, it was like taboo. We did it, but we couldn't talk about it before or after.
I'm a very blunt and honest person. If I like something, I like something. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I'm just gonna tell you that. So, yeah, it's okay to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
Well, we know they have
We
children.
know they have children together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But have you decided on having more children? Because from the age from the ages of the kids you currently have.
Next.
She said no. I agree. Same here. Yeah, I agree. He has 5. I have 2. I don't think we need to add any more people.
Oh no! Wait, Mark, what you think?
Oh,
I agree.
she said no.
I'm an educator as well, and so I'm always around what I call my other kids, the kids that I teach.
Yeah, other kids. Okay, okay. So you got a whole bunch of God kids. Okay, gotcha.
No, I'm good.
That's enough.
Good. And we and combined though, we have a total of how many is it? 4.
4.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, 4.
That's enough.
4.
So
5 with Alicia. So.
5 with Alicia, right? So, and 3 of them are technically grown.
Yeah.
1 of them is on the way out. So why in the world would I create?
Exactly.
Why would I do
so
that?
much?
We almost home free.
I'm just trying to figure. Yeah,
really?
Like we got 5 years and they gone.
Really?
Why would we do that?
Why would you do that?
Well, we kind of just
see
did.
This beautiful puppy over
We
here.
kind of just
that's,
did it.
That's your son.
Yeah, and then
we
got Mozart. Right. So between
we got a little dog.
We got a dog. So I think everybody in the house is happy. We're gonna just leave it at that.
There we go. All right. Good. All right. So, are there things that you all do together? Are there things that you all used to do together before getting married that you miss now?
I think we've gotten busier since we got married. When we first met, like we did a lot of activities together. Number one, because let's be clear, we were in a slower place. Like
Right.
Indianapolis is not as fast paced as Atlanta. Even
Okay.
Midwest, it still has a slower type of town vibe. Even though it's in between Chicago and Ohio, you still have a very slow kind of, you know, redundancy, with that. With Atlanta, you can be doing something every minute. Like I always say, Atlanta will make you feel like you're not doing enough if you're not careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
the
God.
problem. Yeah.
And that's a problem. So I think for us, what we're learning how to do again is not allow stuff that comes up to take us away from us. Like we are planning to do stuff more together. Because like I said, he's always been in the industry, but this was my first time actually, like, what do you call it? Like filming, actually like doing a movie. So
That was my thing. And when you said, not to cut you off, when you emailed me about you was doing filming, are you able to talk about it a little bit? Because I'm that's cool. I like the fact that you're doing it.
yeah, like it was kind of unexpected. I wasn't expecting to do it, but it is gonna be a network movie.
Ooh.
I don't think she gave us release dates. I'm quite sure she'll let me know, and then I'll, make
Okay.
sure you guys know. But yeah,
Okay.
it was a lot of preparation for it. One day, I was supposed to have 3 days of filming, but for me, I'd rather do one and done. So I kind of was filming literally all day till like 2 o'clock in the morning one day. But that's new to me. But because I have him here to kind of guide me, it didn't make it feel as tough. Like it was just, try it out, see if you like it. If you get more roles, cool. If you don't, I'm cool too. So,
Okay.
but we have to learn how to date because Mark's schedule is insane. If you,
Wow.
when I tell you that the industry has no chill, they
Dang.
have no chill, and that's just because he wants to stay busy, but at the same time, it's like we got to figure out when our downtime is so that we can reconnect. Because even
Okay.
though he's creating things that industry people are going to see, but you got to realize that pulls a lot from him, and so
Right.
dating is sometimes it's hard because we're trying to
Okay.
fit in. We're trying to fit it in. We get better though.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Getting there.
Okay.
we get
Well,
there.
that was gonna go right into the next question. Do you date each other still, and what would a typical date night look like for you guys? What's one fun thing that you haven't done together that you would like to do on your next date together? And I'm gonna challenge y'all to do that within the next 30 days.
Mm-mm.
What's one thing that we haven't done? What's our average date night?
Average date night tends to be we both like to explore different whether it's restaurants or places.
Uh,
Love to travel, obviously.
Mhm.
But something that we haven't done that we would like to do.
Well, I could say for us, him mentioning is that when we were in Indy, we used to go to Ohio a lot.
Yeah.
So like, and that's because like literally, I would go grocery shopping. I would drive from Indy to Ohio just to go grocery shopping, and that's just because
oh
it's
wow.
experience of going and introducing yourself to new places, new stores, or whatever. And so we
Okay.
haven't found our Ohio
Yeah.
yet. And I think when we do, that's close to Atlanta, I think we'll be more spontaneous in
Okay.
doing that because that's something that we really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like everybody would hop in the car. Sometimes me and him would just hop in the car and spend the
Just
day
go.
at the neighboring city, and
Okay.
so I think that's one thing that we gonna do. I think we're gonna go to the distillery. Remember that distillery between here and South Carolina. So we may do that.
Okay, all right, all right. Y'all gotta tell us about it because we like going places and traveling too. We
Yeah,
stay
we
in a
like
little
eat.
country town that's a couple of hours from you guys, from Atlanta. and we
Yeah.
go to Atlanta at least once a month. So every time we're in Atlanta, we make it a date night or a date weekend. So we pick
Yeah.
a couple
No,
different restaurants and do something different every day.
yeah, like when he had to work, what was it? Was it for the play?
Mm-hmm.
We spent the weekend in Atlanta because he had to he was a musical director for a play, so we was in the city the weekend. That was cool because now it's like every time we go to the city, we're like, are we going to our spot?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, spontaneity of the date is what we like the most.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to plan it. We can just be like, you want to do this weekend? Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you most excited about in your relationship during this particular season for you guys?
Ooh.
I just launched a business, a multimedia company. So I'm excited to see how that's going to grow and how it's going to bless the household, how it's going
Okay.
to expand what we want to do, the places we want to go. I'm excited to see what that's
Okay.
going to look like. And then also just how our kids are growing, that their different phases, how we're going to evolve, as a couple with their evolutions. And, being here in the city for at least a year and a half, 2 years, we're learning she's learned, I've lived here before, but she's learning the city and how how it functions. And so
Right.
that's something I'm looking forward to too, to see how we're going to grow and expand and have a capacity for all the things that we're about to go into.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
I said, yeah, I would agree.
Right.
I would agree.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. All right. So the last question that we have, and then we'll give you guys a chance to spill whatever you want to spill. What is the biggest strength of your relationship?
The biggest stress,
Strength.
Strength.
Biggest strength.
biggest
The
strength.
strongest point of your relationship.
I think because we have great minds, our business aspect is good. Like if because he created this multimedia company, and then I just kind of helped do little parts of it. But I think if we ever decided to literally create something together, I think that would be good. And I think because whatever that business is, if it ever comes, and it doesn't have to, what I'm saying is I think even though we love each other and we're in love with each other, our minds are in sync when it comes to whatever we want to pull strength out of each other and make it something, touchable and tangible. If we ever
Right.
do that, I feel like it would be like, I think it would be sky's the limit, honestly. Because we have great,
Okay.
we wouldn't be doing it to make money. We would be doing it literally because you're really good at this. You should focus on that. And I'm good at that. I should focus on that and bring it together. Like, I think if we did that, that'd be great. If it never, I think we're doing that in different ways. But if we ever just
Right.
down and did it this one particular way, I think that would be super duper successful.
I agree.
Awesome. You guys are so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So if you could tell all the couples, the newlyweds, and give them a good
Bit of advice
bit of advice
or
to
insight.
a little insight, as she was saying, before we tell everybody where they can find you at and whatnot. What kind of advice could you give them to help sustain the best positive relationship? I'm not going to say great because everybody's great is different.
I think I would say, how when you tell people read the room, sometimes when you say read the room, you think about it from the context of what you should do or how should you respond because the room is responding this way. But we never really think of it like read the room, and when you see the results that you don't want, don't do that. Don't, what I'm saying? If you see what you don't want, then don't do that. And I say that to say
Yeah.
a lot of times with social media and all of the reels and all of the stuff that people are watching and the pranks and the spoofs and all these things, it's easy to just read the room and try to get all of this content and advice from all these people that you've never met to, about what a relationship looks like. And a lot of it is toxic. And when you
Yes.
realize that the results of that will not give you what you desire, stop
Mm-hmm.
stop reading that room. Go to a different
Right. Go
look
to
at,
a different room.
yeah, and start gleaning from something that's going to impact you for the better, not just what everybody's looking at because it gives them likes, views, and that type of thing. So I would
Right.
encourage people to shut off some things, go into a different room, sit at different tables, and don't focus on just what society and social media says a good relationship looks like.
Yep.
Press in, seek God, seek your heart, and just be vulnerable. Be willing to be vulnerable, especially the men. We got to be willing to be vulnerable to say that if we want to go to our wife, say this, how I feel, this made me mad, this hurts me, this person did this, and I don't know how to, approach it. That's the kind of stuff that will help a relationship thrive if you're just able to be open.
Yeah, I think for me it would be go with your gut. Like, be willing to be uncomfortable for a second, because I think that's where people are so quick to leave now because they get uncomfortable so quick in a marriage, especially when it's new. Because when the wedding is over, you on this high for like
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 months, and then when stuff really start happening and you start really getting uncomfortable and those conversations come up, then everybody want to say, oh, this is not the person for me. So I think people have to start learning that uncomfortable doesn't mean leave. Uncomfortable means you deal with it, you're uncomfortable for a second, you go to that hump, and then you approach the next. um and and two, understanding that your partner is not a superhero. They are superhero to you, but they're human.
Right.
You can't put these unrealistic expectations on them, because they're human and they're going to experience life too outside of you. So they are going through things when they walk out. When Mark walks out and goes to work in the morning, he's experiencing life different than I am for those 12 hours that he may be away. I'm experiencing life different for those 13 or 14 hours that I'm away from him. So I can't take away and dehumanize him just because he's my superhero. I have to allow him to be, flawed instead
Mm-hmm.
of loved. You know what I mean? I may not like it. It may not feel good. I may not like some of the things he tells me, but I look at him as such a superhero that sometimes it's impossible for me to see that. How could you possibly feel that way? Or how could I come across that way? You don't understand how revered you are. But I think allowing your spouse to be human is the first step to vulnerability and transparency and intimacy in your relationship.
Right.
And consistency. Be consistent, even when you don't want to be. Even when I'm mad, I still don't want him to go without. Even when he get on my nerves, I still don't want him to be without. And I get to the point where it makes me mad if other people don't see him how I see him.
That's good.
So that's
Okay.
young people. Just keep it up. Whatever you feel right now, it's not gonna last. You gotta keep building on that. Don't get stuck in that uncomfortable spot where you don't move past
Right.
it.
Right. Okay. Some really good advice. I hope everybody takes that into account next time they get into any relationship, business, or relation, or even a business relationship
Yeah.
or a partnership.
Mhm.
Because I think that's what we were at first, at the
We
very
were
beginning.
business partners.
Business partner, we're friends, business partners.
Business partners first, friends, and then
Yeah.
friends became turn into lovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It had me waiting and anticipating.
Hey, the wait, it was worth it.
It was.
Right.
It was.
Can't give it all to you at one time,
It was. So, Mark and Nicole, you guys are doing so much. Where can our audience find you guys outside of your 9 to 5?
We're at WilMark Media Group, and our website is wilmarkmedia.com. And WilMark is spelled with one L. My good friend from over many years, his name is Will Francis.
Uh-huh.
We collaborated and just came together to build a business that will allow people to be able to tell their own story about different things that are going on in life, and we help produce it on stage, on music, on film, through art and photography. And so it's an exciting journey. So go to www.wilmarkmedia.com, and also you can go to either Nicole at WilMark Media, Nicole with WilMark Media, or Mark with WilMark Media. Shout out to my business partner Will Francis. And our slogan at WilMark is "We will make a mark that cannot be erased."
Hey, I like that. Hey,
You better say that.
like that.
I think, and two, you can reach him on his Facebook too.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's got
Instagram.
his
Yep.
Instagram. So your Facebook is just your name.
Yeah, Facebook is my name. Instagram is Music MDMP, and then your information.
Okay,
Oh,
so I got WilMark Media dot 2023. Is that wrong?
WilMarkMedia.com. And then you
For
can
the
go
IG.
Instagram. Yeah, we have Instagram, WilMark 2023. And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
he's got his Facebook, which is just is just the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
my Facebook, which is just my name, Nicole S.Peay. And then on Instagram, I'm wife _of _Paytoven, PeayToven.
Yeah, say we got the wife and the
Wife
underscore.
So wife
of
of _Paytoven, PeayToven, wife of Paytoven.
And that comes from, as a musician, people they call me Beethoven because a lot of my
Yeah, cause like Beethoven.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So yeah, most people follow me on. A lot of people follow me on Facebook. I have more. I think I don't know how many, but they can find me there, and that's where they'll find the release dates, information about the upcoming movie that's coming out on. It'll be on Tubi Network. So all that information is on my Instagram and my Facebook.
Yeah, wife, baby, you were saying for sleeping on Tubi.
yeah, supposed to be sleeping on Tubi.
For
Tubi be
sleeping
lit
on
now.
Tubi.
So it might be looking a little ghetto on some of them, but it be lit. The storylines be busting.
This one's gonna be good. So if you go to my Instagram and you go to my Facebook, you'll see the reel about it, and I'll let you, go from.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
I've been
We
so excited to meet you guys tonight and
Same
get to
here.
know more about you. Absolutely beautiful couple, and I look forward to following you guys in your journey in
and maybe
business
even
and
getting together
growing
somewhere
and
down the line. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I know you guys have a busy schedule, which we kind of do too, and that's the other reason why I couldn't get that earlier
Yeah.
uh interview in. And so just like you guys, she's going in, and she just started back in school, nurse practitioner. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, on top of the business, and then we got 2 kids in the house, 14 and 12. Uh, just gave birth to a dog. Uh, uh,
3 month old.
yeah. So, and then uh, doing a lot of changes with my life and my illness and whatnot. So we definitely understand that busyness and trying to find that balance. That's something that we're working on. And again, like at the very beginning of the show, y'all are doing exactly what I saw and how you explain it. Um, I like the fact that we were able to record this so people can watch it regardless, even if it's later, even if it's 5 years from now, because I think this scene, definitely in the black community, this is gold for us
Mm-hmm.
because we're so used to, I hear a lot, not to linger on, but so many of us look at the amount of years our parents have been together versus like that longevity versus the quality of that marriage.
Right.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to be 50 years and yeah,
I want a quality relationship.
if you're anything
regardless
like
of
my
how long
parents,
it
they
lasts.
roommates. They've been roommates for years. So and I thank you guys. I really do. And I can ask you guys to continue to work on yourselves to
Be the best version of
yeah,
you each and every day.
yep.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
guys.
having us.
No problem.
Absolutely.
No problem. So again, guys, we did put in the comments that
How
they
to follow
probably
them or reach them if y'all have any questions.
Okay.
Always hit us in the DMs, or they can always you can always use a Q&A answer on our podcast as well.
yeah.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Have a great
You're
evening.
welcome. Thank
Y'all
you
do too. See you guys later.
See ya.
So guys, that it was like an awesome couple, and I thought they were awesome. It was pretty cool when I saw them. I came across them, and I was so happy that they reached out and they did schedule to be on the show. But yeah, like I was saying, it was like some mirroring
Yeah, yeah.
when it comes to our relationship,
And that's
and
a
you'd be
beautiful
very
thing.
surprised.
Yeah. Sharing experiences.
Yeah, you really don't realize how much.
I feel privileged, that I was in the presence of greatness. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
I refer to us as like
see,
regular people. We just regular people.
yeah, and pretty much even with him being a celebrity, that's how he comes off. Just still, just a regular,
Lawfully down to
yeah,
earth regular person.
yeah.
So this has been an absolutely great episode. Hope y'all enjoy it. It is a little long, so get into it. Listen, I mean, great stuff, great people, great vibes.
Yeah. Next Saturday we have a hilarious couple, the Goodman.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
and yeah, I think
So
that's
don't
gonna
be
be
shy. Tune in next Saturday, 9. No,
9.
wait a minute. When do you air it? We go live at
Oh.
9 on Saturday.
Oh, the podcast
But you
on
probably
YouTube.
won't hear this until later.
Yeah,
if you're
if you're doing
the
audio,
podcast.
it's on Wednesdays.
So
Yeah.
whenever you listen to it to play it back, awesome shows going on here. And if you want to be on the show, always hit us in the DMs. Mr. Miss Taking Over the World on IG. Comment on YouTube or anywhere else you can find us.
Come in and say, hey, we want to be on. Hit us up.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Until next time, that's our pillow talk for the night. And they finna go to sleep.
Yes, in 2 seconds. Good night.